Okay, so not going to do much talking this time. We are just going to have some fun. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, so what are we doing today? So today I have today's doodle was it is fun. All right. All right, ready? Here we go. All right. So as usual with my doodles, I really attempt to only use a few photos. These things can get pretty elaborate sometimes, but I try not to do it. Okay, this it is summertime. Summer Blitz. Let's get that. Is like, can you see it? Is it covering? Okay, camera not going up. All right. Anyway, um, let's go ahead and pop this open. See what we got here. I like this. It's sometimes how you get those beers and some of those summer beers are not that great, so you just try it. Um, but this one here is fairly good. I kind of like it. So what are we doing today? All right, our our project today is to create this. All right. Ooh, excuse me. All right. So do me a favor, favor guys. Quick Start Creative. I have the Quick Start Creative page. I have the Quick Start Creative group. I have the Quick Start Creative YouTube page. Like those, kind of spread the word around, trying to brand out a little bit, get everything going. So I am streaming live on all three. So this is my personal page. I stream live on my personal page. I stream on my Quick Start Creative group, the Quick Start Creative YouTube page. So all three, we're streaming live on all three. So um, this is so I kind of have to talk a little different because the audience has broadened because I'm streaming in multiple places now. But I am monitoring the chat, so I'm monitoring that. So if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to pop in, ask questions or anything like that. So I am monitoring the chat so I can ask questions. If you want to see something in particular or anything like that, feel free to do so. Um, since it's July, we may start moving into After Effects, but we're going to recreate this photo. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right. So I have three images. Started with this one. Here's my train. Here's the camera. So the camera is the base of the project. So let's work with this one first. First and foremost, I made it a square because it's going on Instagram. Now here's a secret with Instagram. I won't get into it. We'll talk about Instagram later, but I'm going to crop 1 to 1 and I kind of want to make it about there. Okay. All right. So we have it there. And as always, with every single project, there is, of course, the mask. All right. We do this all the time. So I'm going to come in so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. All right. And in fact, let's go full camera. Bam. So you guys can see. Here we go. All right. So full camera. All right. So I'm going to create a mask. I'm going to select and I'm holding down Alt and Shift. So that way I can spread my elliptical from the center. And if I want to move it, I'm going to hit the space bar. This is my very first, how to do this is my very first YouTube tutorial. All right. So now that we have the mask, all we have to do now is create a new layer. And I want to fill it with black. All right. So I have it selected. I have my layer selected. I'm going to hold Alt and backspace. And that's going to fill it with black. All right. Control D to deselect. All right. So I have that. Next thing, as you can see in my image, we put the forest inside of the camera, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our forest and we're going to drag it over here. We zone out here. All right. So I'm going to put this inside my camera. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And we want it where it's kind of far away, right? So I kind of want to get it where, and if I change the opacity, I can kind of, you can kind of see, I want it just wide enough for that. Break it down a little bit higher than that. All right. Right there. All right. Now, I want it inside of the circle, so I need to create a clipping mask, and that is hold down the Alt key. And if you look over here, there's that little arrow key that comes up. Click there. It is now inside of my camera. So that's what I'm using for this layer right here. This created the clipping mask. All right. So, but in the image, we have the train come all the way out, right? So in order to do that, we're going to create a duplicate layer of this train track. All right. I'm going to do tool. And what I want is I want to make the this image larger because I want the tracks to come all the way down to the bottom here, but I want to maintain this ratio here. So I'm going to move my anchor to this spot here, and I'm just simply going to make it larger. All right. All right. And so now I hold the opacity down. You can see I have some work to do. I need to kind of align it a little bit, but that's just a matter if I just hit distort. Cute. And let me just kind of all want you down here. So I just gotta zoom in and get this aligned properly. And I'm not really worried about the trees. I'm more concerned with getting the tracks aligned. Yeah. Yeah, I'm more concerned about getting the tracks aligned because I'm going to crop out a whole lot of stuff here. So going to create a layer mask here. Go Control I. And then I'm just going to brush it back in. And so I'm just going to brush it all back and boom, 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 boom. And I want that in. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let me. All right. Okay. And I can. There we go. All right. So I have my train track in. That's looking good. And so now we need to kind of work on what we call atmosphere, just making it kind of getting some shadows and everything. So I'm going to go here and take the opacity down, take the flow down. And I'm just going to take my let's take my brush here. Make it large. No, no, no. Take that opacity down a little bit lower. All right. Let's get some of that in. All right. And we're going to get a little bit more on trains here. All right. Darken that out. And eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to blur some of this stuff out anyway. So let's get one more layer here. Make this small. A little bit darker. Got a little flow. Let's get this going. All right. All right. There we go. All right. So we got a little ambiance going. All right. All right. So we got a little ambiance going. Let's take a sip. Kind of see where we're at. And you see, in just a few minutes, we're here. Let's go with this. Let's go with here. Let's go filter. Let's blur. Let's go tilt shift. All right. So all right. Okay. Okay. All right. I got a little blur motion. All right. So now the next thing is getting some ambience, getting that orange light, right? So we gotta get this orange light. So let me go ahead and collect what that orange is. All right. All right. Now we're gonna do a couple of things with this. We're just going to brush tool. I don't need that large 0%. All right. All right. All right. We're gonna go to color dodge. No, color burn. I want to make it darker. All right. Get brighter orange going there. Color dodge. Color dodge. All right. Bit of a darker orange. Overlay. So we're just adding some light, some ambiance to it. We want that glow. I'm gonna move it up here. Who's here? Let me create a duplicate of that. Do some of that light right here. Create a duplicate of that one. Do some of that light down here. All right. All right. Let's see what I want. I want it. I want you to cover. Yeah. There we go. All right. And then we get one more, and we're going to make this one overlay. And we'll make it a little bit lighter. Surface mod. And then this is what's going to leak. This is what's going to kind of leak out onto the surface here. And it's just going to die down as we get further away. All right. All right. So we got our leaking light. Now let's get our kid. All right. So the kid is fairly simple. We just hit Smart Select, Quick Select tool. We select him out. And now he's going to be really small, so I may not have to worry about as much, but I'm going to get as accurate as I can because, just for. So this is where time really comes into play, right? Now, there's a couple of things we can do when we run up against something like this. This is it's one of those instances where I have one other tool that I don't really want to use, but I may. Okay. All right. And this is Photoshop being very cooperative with me. All right. So we have our boy now. Let's get him moved over. Get him sized properly. And like I said, he's small, but you still want to kind of work to get the details properly. Now, one thing about compositing is getting these lights because there's this leaking light. So that means there should be a shadow here. So we're going to create a shadow, and this should be a long shadow. So, but let's get him properly lit first because one thing we're going to do a curves. Now on the front, it should be brighter. On the back, it should be darker. So we're going to darken him. I'm going to clip him because I only want to darken him. But ba 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 ba. Maybe I just use a brightness to. I'm gonna brighten him down. Okay. All right. So I got him brightened down a little bit. I'm gonna add a little. I'd like to take a little of that off though, because we still want this area up here to be fairly light. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide some of that because I want to bring some of this brightness back here. All right. So he's dark. All right. So I'm trying to think this should be a little bit darker. I think it should be darker. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think that should be that bright. Okay. I also think under him, I think there should be some shadows down here too. Yeah. I think there should be a shadow on his feet. All right. All right. So we got him and kind of like it. Let's go ahead and apply the layer mask. Let's duplicate him, put him underneath. Oops. What do we do? I'm going to make this the shadow. All right. So I'm going to make him the shadow. So I'm going to go ahead, select Alt backspace, Control D, Control T, and then we're going to distort. All right. So now what we're doing is creating a long shadow, and it should spread out as it gets away and be a little more narrow as it's close to the body. So do that, and All right. And then we're going to blur it. So this is the same thing I did with the tiger. So I just created a shadow. I'm going to take the opacity down so you barely be able to see it. So all right. And I kind of think it should be like this. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. All right. Yeah, that's a little better. It's like I should be coming in like that a little bit. All right. All right. So we have our kid. He's taken care of. What do we have left here? We have the overall ambiance, right? Let's take this Control Shift E. And I believe we added a hue saturation. And I went with the blues. I said, and I guess that's what they call the blues. Okay, so we went with. I don't remember what I did. I don't remember what I did. All right. Let me do something here. I said, piece of blue. I did something here. I did levels and I did the curves. Oh, I did curves and took blues. My bad. Let me go here. Okay. I didn't do hue saturation. I did a curves, went to the blue channel, and to add blues, you simply pull down, push up on those blues, push up on those blues. All right. And then I added a levels. And I believe I took in the overall darkness of it. Something like that. I can kind of look and see. I did blue 22205. RGB added contrast. Why don't we just do this? Did that. There we go. All right. The only thing I'm not a big fan of how bright the light is in the center. I mean, I could probably Add a brightness. Bring down that contrast. Then go Control I and simply paint it on here. Just to bring that down some. Just to bring it down some. It just seemed like it was just too much going on with this. So I'm gonna just take that down just a little bit so you can see the difference. Boom, boom. Mute it just a little bit. All right. That's it. That is Friday's doodle. To 36 minutes. Using all of the tools that I've been talking about all the time. Curves adjustment layer, a levels adjustment layer, a brightness, mask, some brushes. There's one thing I could do. Let me do this. Let me group him. Let's group. All right. So there's one thing I could do. If we just look at this and come in here and do a filter. We were to go filter. Let's cancel out of here. Maybe if we go to let's do it on the final layer. Let's see what happens. Filter, iris blur. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is see. All right, let's see what we get. All right, you see the difference here? Yeah, let's go with that. All right. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right, I'm happy with it. There is the final result. Let's go ahead and save it. And then I will save it as a JPEG and post it. All right. So you guys have gotten through another doodle Friday. So that's it for Friday. Um so I've done how many Facebook lives so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. I said I was going to try to do 10 of these. I have a couple of tutorials I need to upload on the YouTube page. Editing a few podcasts. So a lot of work going on, just trying to keep this going. Content, just creating content. All right. So that's all it is. Creating content for you guys to work with. All right. End of a broadcast. That's it.